Hello and welcome to English Help Desk. Today we are looking at idioms with hearts, part 2. So the idioms with hearts in this video often show someone's desire for something or how much they care about something. And the idioms that we are going to look at will be in one's heart of hearts, lose heart, one's heart is not in it, one's heart is in one's mouth, set one's heart on something to one's heart's content, take heart, and then finally take something to heart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you each of these idioms and then I'll give you a quick definition as well as explanation of what each of the idioms mean. I will then give you 2 examples for each idiom showing how they would be used in a more natural way in English. At the end of the video, there will be a review where I go over each idiom one more time to see if you can remember what the idiom means. But let's get on with our video and let's have a look at our first idiom, which is in one's heart of hearts. In one's heart of hearts has the meaning of deep inside, in one's innermost thoughts and feelings. In other words, this is something that you really strongly believe or really strongly think. So let's have a look at an example. Our first example is, I know in my heart of hearts that I have the best English teaching channel on YouTube. And yeah, I know there's a lot of other channels that help you learn English, but I know deep down inside of me, I know that English Help Desk is the #1 channel for all of your English learning needs. And I hope that you also believe that. I hope that in your heart of hearts, you know that I am the #1 as well. All right, let's have a look at another example, which is, Dana took the job at her father's company, but in her heart of hearts, she wanted to travel the world. Dana's taken a job with her father, but deep down she knows that this is not what she wants to be doing. She would much rather be traveling the world instead. In her heart of hearts, the thing that she really wants to do, or the thing that she really believes she should be doing, is traveling the world instead of working with her father. All right. Our next idiom is lose heart. Lose heart has the meaning of becoming discouraged, to stop believing that you can succeed. In other words, it's when you feel that you want to give up, when you want to stop doing something. So let's have a look at an example. Yes, studying English is difficult and you get shy when you speak English, but don't lose heart. You can do it. Don't lose heart. In other words, don't give up. Yes, English is hard. Yes, you might feel a bit uncomfortable, but don't lose heart. Don't give up. You can do it. It is in your ability to speak English. And one day you will be able to speak English much, much better. So don't lose heart. Don't give up. Keep going. You can do it. Our next example is, Josh keeps failing to get a job. He is beginning to lose heart. Here, Josh has been applying for lots of different jobs, but for various reasons, he's either not getting the interviews that he wants, or he keeps being rejected at interview. So he is beginning to lose heart. He is beginning to want to give up. He's losing confidence in his ability to find a job. Lose heart, to lose confidence, to want to give up doing something. Our next idiom is, one's heart is not in it. One's heart is not in it has the meaning of feeling little enthusiasm for something one is doing. One lacks motivation. If your heart is not in something, then really it's not something that you want to be doing. It's something that you don't have much passion or much interest in doing. You just rather not be doing that thing at all. Let's have a look at some examples. Dana's heart is not in the job she is doing at her father's company. She is a traveller at heart. So we've already looked at Dana's story, and yeah, she wants to be a traveller. She's a traveller at heart. So her heart is not in the job she is doing right now. She has no passion for the job. She has no enthusiasm for the thing that she is doing at her father's company. Our next example is, I tried to play the new Super Mario game, but my heart's just not in it right now. Maybe another time. Here, I've just bought the new Super Mario game, but for various reasons, it's just not a game I want to play right now. It just doesn't interest me in the way that other Super Mario games have interested me in the past. So rather than playing it, I'd rather just stop playing it, and maybe in the future, when I have more interest in the game, then I can start playing it. But right now, my heart's not in it. I just don't have much enthusiasm for playing the game. So, one's heart is not in it, not having much enthusiasm, not having much interest in something. The next idiom is, one's heart is in one's mouth. One's heart is in one's mouth has the meaning of feeling suddenly very nervous, worried, or frightened. Have you ever had that feeling when you're very nervous of your heart just beating very, very strongly? So strongly, in fact, that it feels like it's beating inside your mouth. And that's what this idiom means. So let's have a look at an example. As I walked onto the stage in front of 200 people, my heart was in my mouth. Here I'm going to be giving some kind of presentation or some kind of performance in front of lots of people. Of course, I'm very nervous. I'm very worried about giving this presentation, this performance, and my heart is beating very hard because I'm that nervous. And again, it feels like it's beating inside my mouth because of how nervous I am. Another example. As Toby was proposing marriage to Rebecca, his heart was in his mouth. Now, for many people, proposing is a very scary thing. What if the love of their life says no? It is very nervous. And again, here, Toby, his heart's beating really hard. So hard that it feels like it's in his mouth. All right, our next idiom. Set one's heart on something. Set one's heart on something means that you want something very, very much. Yeah, you really, really want something. It could be an actual thing, or it could be a dream, or a goal, or an ambition. I have my heart set on getting 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. Yeah, this is something that I really, really want. I would love to have 1 million subscribers. At the moment, the number of subscribers that I have is not even close, but it's something that I dream about, and it's something that I want to work very hard to achieve. My heart is set on getting 1 million subscribers. 1 million subscribers is a goal that I really want to achieve. Dana has set her heart on travelling the world, so she is saving her money. We are very familiar with Dana's story by now, and we know that travelling the world is something that she really, really wants to do. Her heart is set on travelling the world. She's unable to at the moment, so while she has a job, she might as well save up the money in order to help her achieve that goal in the future of traveling the world. Our next idiom, to one's heart's content. To one's heart's content has the meaning of as much or as long as one wants, until one is satisfied. In other words, there is no limit. You can do something for as long as you want. And there is no limit other than how much you want to do that thing. Jill's mother lets Jill play video games to her heart's content. So here, Jill's mother is a very nice mother, and Jill can play video games for as long as she wants. She can wake up in the morning and start playing video games, and she can play video games all day long until it's really late at night. The only reason Jill stops playing video games is that Jill gets bored or that she's just too tired. Jill's mother is not the one stopping Jill. Jill can play video games to her heart's content for as long or as much as she wants. The buffet is all you can eat, so we can eat to our heart's content. So yeah, if we're super hungry, we can go to this buffet and just keep eating until we are super full, until our stomach says, nope, you can't eat anymore. I'm going to explode if you put any more food inside of me. All right. Take heart. Take heart means to become confident again, to find courage and faith in oneself after a disappointment, failure, etc. Sometimes we all do things that just feel a bit too hard, but sometimes our friends help us or give us encouragement and we get confidence again. In that case, yeah, we take heart, we feel more confident. And although something is difficult and we didn't want to do it before, now, after we take heart, we want to be able to do that thing again. So, after all his friends gave him encouragement, Josh took heart and applied for a lot more jobs. So before, Josh was losing heart. He wanted to give up looking for a job, but all of his friends said, come on, you can do it. You can get a really good job. We believe in you. His friends gave Josh confidence. Josh took heart and felt more confident and started applying for jobs again. Although you think your English is bad, take heart from the fact that you just had a long conversation using English and it went well. Here, a student obviously doesn't think that their English ability is very good, but in actual fact, they were able to use English very well. They were just able to have a long conversation in English with someone else. And that person is saying, actually, your English is pretty good. Have more confidence. Take heart. Don't give up. You're doing really well. Take something to heart. Take something to heart has the meaning of to consider what someone says to you very seriously, often because it upsets you. So when you take something to heart, it means that you really begin to think about something. Maybe you realize you're not doing something as well as you could be doing, and there are problems. So you start thinking about how you can do better. Of course, you feel upset because originally you thought you were doing well, but actually you need to try harder. But we take something to heart. We begin to consider what someone has said and try to think seriously about how to do better in the future. So, my teacher told me that if I didn't try harder, I would fail. And I took what he said to heart. Here, this student obviously thinks that they're doing quite well, but the teacher says, no, actually, you're going to fail. Of course, being told this makes the student feel, oh God, I'm really upset now. But the student doesn't want to fail. So the student is listening to the teacher's advice and is thinking seriously about what the teacher has said in order to be able to get better in the future, to not fail, and to get a much better grade in the future. Don't take it to heart. He was only joking about your ability to play football. So here, person A, they think that they're really good at football. But then person B says, actually, you're not very good, mate. You suck at football. And person A begins to feel very upset. He is taking very seriously person B's joke. But he shouldn't. Person B was only making a joke, so person A should not take that joke seriously. Person A should ignore the joke. Person A is doing well. Don't be upset by the joke. Keep doing what you're doing. You're actually doing very well. All right, let's have a look at a review. So I'm going to show each of these idioms one more time, and then I will show you the meaning. If you want to try and remember what the meaning is, then feel free to pause the video whilst you try to remember. All right, our first idiom was in one's heart of hearts. In one's heart of hearts has the meaning of deep inside, in one's innermost thoughts and feelings, something that you really believe in, something that you really think is true. Lose heart. Lose heart means become discouraged, to stop believing that you can succeed. Yeah, when you lose confidence in something, when you want to give up, when you want to stop. One's heart is not in it. One's heart is not in it means one feels little enthusiasm for something one is doing, one lacks motivation. In other words, if your heart's not in something, it's not something that you feel very passionate about. It's not something that you really want to be doing. You'd rather be doing something else. One's heart is in one's mouth. One's heart is in one's mouth means one suddenly feels very nervous, worried, or frightened. When your heart beats really, really strongly and it feels like it's beating strongly inside your mouth. Set one's heart on something. Set one's heart on something means want something very much. Yeah, you really, really want to do something, or you really, really want to get something. To one's heart's content. To one's heart's content means as much or as long as one wants, until one is satisfied. Basically, something is unlimited and you can do that thing for as long as you want until you want to stop. Take heart. Take heart means become confident again. Find courage and faith in oneself after a disappointment, failure, etc. So sometimes something is difficult and you feel that you want to give up, but after encouragement, you get more confidence and you want to continue doing that thing. You want to be able to start doing that thing once more. Take something to heart. Take something to heart means to consider what someone says to you very seriously, often because it upsets you. So yeah, someone says something to you and you feel very upset and you start thinking very strongly, very seriously about what that person has said to you. All right. So, the best way to remember these idioms is to practice these idioms. Try and use them in conversations with other people. Try and use them in sentences. Write them down. Try and use these idioms in situations that relate to you and to your life. Has there ever been a time when you felt so nervous that you felt like your heart was in your mouth? Has somebody said something to you that you've taken to heart? Have you set your heart on something? Did you achieve that thing? Have you ever done something to your heart's content? If you've done any of these things, yeah, try and write them down in sentences and leave a comment underneath. Also, please like and subscribe. If you like and subscribe to this video, it tells YouTube that you think that this channel is a really good channel and that this video is a really good video. Also, tell others about me as well. After all, if you're going to use these idioms with your friends, they're not going to understand what you mean unless they've seen this video as well. So, for better conversations with your friends, make sure that they watch this video as well. Alright, I'll be back soon with another video. Until next time, thank you very much and bye bye.